Well, I guess I've always been interested from a young age. The first instrument I actually collected was that helicon up there, that Chervany. I was on tour with the Mosaic Ballet Company, which we would go to all major cities in Canada and the US. And I decided when I went to each city, I would try to find instruments. I found that in Boston at a music store. They had a pile of parts, a literal mountain. And I looked through it, and there was this one instrument. Again, when we had our business, as I mentioned, people would want to trade instruments, and some of them were very interesting. I just didn't want to sell them. I wanted to keep them. And we started to build this ambiance of this collection as part of the business, and that did attract certain customer or profile into the business. Uh, it did take up most of this building, but fortunately we had other buildings here as part of the business. So the majority of the collection we got during the 27 years we had the Tuba Exchange. We started out with maybe 10 instruments in that corner, and then it got up to 20. And I would take them to the ITEA conferences. There was one here at the University of Greensboro, UNCG, in I think it was 2004 or 2. And I actually took some of the instruments, and I remember Roger Bobo came and he was impressed with the instruments I took. I took this, which is an unusual instrument. It had some attraction to customers who were interested in the history of the instrument. So the collection grew and got quite large. And fortunately, the people who bought our business in 2011, they did not buy the building. They were renting from us. But this building was full of instruments, and they were kind enough to let me keep it here. He really liked the ambiance of the collection. But then they decided to leave, and that was in 2014 or 15. And then, so in March of 2016, we had our grand opening for the museum. It is the newest museum in Durham, as far as I know. It's over 325 instruments. I don't know exactly because we've gotten so many donations recently of instruments that are not. They were donated mainly because they were missing a lot of parts or something. So I'm not sure they're going to be included in the collection. Well, we want to make it accessible to as many people as possible. It is a private collection. Ethel and I own the collection. We don't get any other funding. So it's up to us to maintain the building, maintain the collection. So funding is not an issue yet, but in order to grow the hours for the collection, right now we have very limited hours. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 till 6 on those days. And we've recently gone to appointment only because sometimes I would come here and I had a curator who we hired, but no one would come. Sometimes we got many people coming all at once. So we decided to do by appointment only so we could try to control the flow of people into the collection. We ask for donations. We have a donation basket, but we do not charge for admission. Exactly. And because of our history and my history with the instrument, I'd love to educate folks on the history of the instrument. And people are excited by that, and they like learning. I try to keep it light, and I don't try to get too serious about it. And they enjoy learning about the instrument. Oh, I would say 200 or 300. I mean, one group alone was 64 people. It was a junior high. Now, as you can see, we have limited floor space. I can only get, I tell people 15, that's it. When we had our grand opening, Ethel did a wonderful job trying to coordinate. We had over 200 people show up. So there's a garage-like building in the back where you park. We had food there for the folks who came, and Ethel handed out numbers, and we had 15 people come at a time to take the tour. So I think I gave over 10 tours that day. I was hoarse for a while, but well, we've had folks from all over the country come. I mean,
Yes, we had some visitors from Durham, England, which is one of our sister cities, and this was one of the big draws. We had quite a group of people from Durham, North Carolina, to shepherd them through, and it was a big attraction for them. And people tell these anecdotal stories about how this is a recognizable entity because it's unique, and we thrive on that because everybody that comes in for a tour is a spokesperson and a disciple of how important the history of the instrument is, and frankly, what a good job we've done to document up to our ability. And then Vince does a wonderful job of pointing out and highlighting the main takeaways. So this is not an instrument that's in the back of the van. This instrument is such a draw to people who play it, and they are so gratified when they bring their families in to have the family say, "Oh, we understand more of why you do this and why this is so difficult and why you get so much out of it." And so it's wonderful when we see people whose grandparents have said, "My granddaughter insisted that we come here, from Michigan, and she's in middle school." And then we'll keep hearing from them, this was the best thing she did. We went to the beach, we went to the mountains, but, being in the middle of all those tubas with a tuba enthusiast, with your own family, I mean, there you go. What validation is that?
yeah, we have a book we ask them to sign in. And they write comments, "Oh, fantastic, enjoyed it. We can't wait to come back." So that's the joy that we get from the collection. Maintaining it at our age is no easy feat, and at some point we won't be able to do it. But right now it's here. We've built it up. We've gotten national recognition. We've been on NPR twice. Atlas Obscura, the website, ranked us second in Durham to the lemur collection at Duke. So I joked that maybe somehow we can combine the two, but I was just joking, of course. But yeah, so we enjoy it. I'm just so happy that we have been able to open it up to the public, because when I had my business and the collection was here, it really wasn't open to the public as a collection. It was just sort of part of the business.